On everybody, welcome back. In this video we are looking at the Friday NBA slate. We have 8 games tonight. Happy Friday. It's a nice slate. Right now NBA is just absolutely insane with all the COVID issues going on across the league, with multiple stars out, multiple teams depleted. It's just going to get crazier and crazier unless I don't know, they decide to change something. But let's get into the video. As always, if you enjoy the videos, hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter for updates, check out Prize Picks, all that good stuff is in the description. The point guard plays today, starting 11-3 for Steph Curry going into Boston. He's fine. He's not going to be a core play. He never really is a core play for me when he's like over 11,000. Trae Young going up against the Nuggets. He's at home. It's not the best spot. Denver doesn't play at a great pace. They are decent defensively, even with all the injuries. And there's just some more teams that are very depleted. So I'm going to pass on the top two guys. Pass on DeJounte Murray going into Utah. That's probably one of the easier ones to pass on. LaMelo Ball probably will be back today. His price tag is already up at 95. And they're probably not going to play him huge minutes in his first game back. So I'd rather go to Damian Lillard without CJ McCollum. Donovan Mitchell, it's a good matchup, but 84 when their Jazz are all healthy. Don't see that much value at that price tag. Give me Drew Holiday. He's too cheap. 79. I mean, DraftKings pricing is really bad today. There's going to be just obvious plays. Drew Holiday without Giannis and without Bobby Portis, they only priced him at 79. He should be, $87, $8,900. But he's got to be the first Milwaukee player to play. He's not going to be the last Milwaukee player that you want to play. Lowry looks good against Orlando. They are missing a bunch of bodies still. Cole Anthony's questionable. If he's out, then definitely want to take a couple of stabs at maybe some value picks on Orlando, but there's a ton of teams that are banged up. Fox is doubtful. I think Hero is questionable. He probably will play. Hopefully he plays at least. But even if he does play, he's $6,900. He's not like a must play. Halliburton is questionable. If he's in, he looks very good because he's going to get more usage without De'Aaron Fox there. Tyus Jones, 55. He looks decent as well at 55, just as a mid-range play. If you wanted to go in like the 5 to 6K range, he's definitely one of the better options there. And then going into the 4K range, you have nobody in the 4K range is must-play worthy. I think Clarkson at this price tag is worth stabs in tournaments at only 45. He's not going to get much ownership, and the price tag is very, very cheap. Same kind of deal with DeAnthony Melton. He gets around 20 minutes off the bench. Can get up to like 25 to 29 if he's playing well. And the matchup is solid. But right now, I got to go with Davion Mitchell. He's also way too cheap. He's $3,600. Point guard, shooting guard eligible. He's going to jump into the starting lineup in place of De'Aaron Fox, get more ball handling responsibilities, get way more minutes, probably getting like 33, 35 minutes. They are not only missing Fox, but Bagley is out. They have a couple of their bigs are doubtful. Len is doubtful. A couple of other guys are questionable. So they could be very limited on bodies by the time we get their full injury report. Other plays at shooting guard at the top end, you have like Brandon Ingram. Not going to be the must play today. Brown's not somebody I'm looking at too much. Edwards coming off of after a 10-3 point game. He's not going to be. He's probably going to be more popular because of that game, but I probably won't chase it. Don't think he'll get 10 threes back to back. Kelly Oubre 7K. If LaMelo Ball's there, then they already got Plumlee back, so they're getting healthy now. So he's not going to get as many minutes as he was, and his price tag hasn't really caught up to that fact yet. Halliburton will be a great play at 58. He'd be one of the best plays in that range. Buddy Hield looks good. If there's no Halliburton, he's probably going to start. Even without Fox, he looks better just because more usage, more shots, and more minutes for Buddy Hield. Other plays in the 4K range would be like Terence Ross. If there is no Cole Anthony, he'd get a bunch more minutes and a lot more usage. And at the bottom, you can look to like Cam Reddish, like Max Strus, some of those guys. Small forward, top end, it's Jason Tatum at 9,000. Now that Brown is there, now that Brown hopefully is healthy, it's not going to be core play. Hayward at 68, coming off of 41 in just 3 quarters. He was super efficient, 15 of 19. He's been efficient all year in terms of just percentage-wise, shooting 47%, 40% from distance. The price tag is reasonable. But now that they're all healthy, I'd rather go to teams that aren't healthy, like Milwaukee, and for some reason they have Chris Middleton priced at 67. He should be 95% owned today in cash games, even in tournaments. Like, I don't know how you justify fading him at 67 without Giannis and Bobby Portis. There's just going to be so many minutes and so much usage and shot attempts to be had. So Chris Middleton has to be the best play at small forward. Other guys in that range would be Dillon Brooks, Will Barton. Scroll down to like Aaron Gordon, like Harrison Barnes at 57. And at least he doesn't have a Q tag or anything like that. He's at a very good price tag. He finally got up to 32 minutes last game, and the minutes are going to be there today because they are banged up with bodies. He's going to get more shots off. He hasn't taken a ton of shots recently. Some of these games he was cold, and some of them just having so many other guys there that will shoot the ball, like Fox. Barnes should get 15 plus shots off today. That's what I would expect. In the 4K range, you have Duncan Robinson, 47, Terence Ross, 44 for some tournament plays. In the 3K range, nothing looks that appealing. You do have Max Strus, Cam Reddish, but there's way better value plays. Power forward, LeBron looks amazing. Going to plug him in at the forward spot. The Lakers don't have Russell Westbrook today, so it's LeBron and AD carrying the show. They also have some other good value plays that you could look to, like Austin Reeves. He's going to get more minutes. Ellington's going to get more minutes because they're missing some role pieces as well, like Horton Tucker is out again. But LeBron gives you triple-double upside. The matchup is amazing against Minnesota. They've started off the year pretty good defensively, and then they've kind of gone back to normal. They are giving up a ton of points. And the Lakers have been relying on LeBron James recently, as usual, and he's been carrying them. So no problem playing him at 10-4 when you have a lot of other stars out, like Giannis. Other plays would be Jaron Jackson Jr. at $6,700. I think he looks great just because he's so cheap. He hasn't been in the 6K range in a while on DraftKings. Normally he's over 7K. He had a bad game against Portland. Was in foul trouble as usual. But he's still only got 24 minutes. Usually he's getting way more than that in close games, like 33, 34. I'm going to plug him in at the utility spot. It's a great spot against Sacramento. They are missing some of their bigs, so they'll probably start like Tristan Thompson at center. They might have Czech Metu if he's able to play. He'll start at the 4. But going with these 6 leaves you with $4,500 left. Still think it's pretty good build. Other plays would be for some value picks. You have Covington, good value. Czech Metu if he does start. He looks great at 37. And at center, if you're not getting up to Jokic at 12K, looking for some value picks, you have like a mid-range playing Jakob Poeltl. You're not going to have Rashawn Holmes, who's doubtful, so you're going to be looking at like Tristan Thompson at 38. And then you have some of the Milwaukee pieces, like $3,100 for DeMarcus Cousins at 31, and then you have Sandro at 3K, depending on who starts. So that's about it for the DraftKings side. You want to load up on teams that are banged up today, like Milwaukee, Sacramento, the Lakers. Those are going to be the main priorities on this slate, at least the 8-gamer. So that's it for DraftKings. Let's talk about FanDuel. So on FanDuel, the pricing is softer as usual. Trae Young is right at 10K. Steph Curry is 99. But probably still like to get some of these cheaper plays. Like Lillard still at 87. But you have to prioritize the Milwaukee pieces, Jrue Holiday. And Kyle Lowry is only 7K as well. He looks great at his price. And at the bottom for value, Gabe Vincent, 49. Looks better on DraftKings. I still like Davion Mitchell on both sites, just because he's going to get way more minutes. He's also very good defensively, so he can rack up some steals, which is great for FanDuel. Shooting guard, plug in Jrue Holiday. He has to be a must-play on both sites for me, just with not having the other two guys out there. Halliburton is expensive on FanDuel, so he's much easier to get to on DraftKings. I'd rather get to like Davion Mitchell and get to something like the 6K range with Dillon Brooks, Will Barton. Pat Connaughton's going to get a big bump today. And then Buddy Hield at 51 looks great. Just going to have to get more shots off for him, and wouldn't be surprised if they decide to start him. He should probably start if Halliburton isn't able to play. Small forward, LeBron at 11K. He's expensive, but I think you're going to have so much value on the slate that you're going to be able to get up to LeBron if you wanted to. but I'm going to go with Chris Middleton. For sure, looks like a great play on both sides. Other plays on FanDuel would be like Wiggins as at 59. You have Harrison Barnes at 57. He looks cheap. He's cheap on both sides. Buddy Hield. And the 4K range, don't have anybody that looks like must-play worthy or looks like a very strong play. So I'll probably pass on this range. And 3K range, I don't really see anybody that looks like worth getting to. Power forward, you have LeBron and Davis. You'll probably be able to get to one of them at least if you wanted to. I like LeBron. He's been way better than Davis this year in terms of just consistency. And without Russell Westbrook, you should get way more assist opportunities, more rebounds, the whole deal. And I like Jaron Jackson Jr. at 64. You can plug him in at power forward. You can plug him in at center, depending on where you want to, where you have the more room. But he shouldn't be at this price tag. He didn't work out last game, but I'm still going right back to him. He's too cheap. Shouldn't be in this range with like Al Horford, Wendell Carter. He's cheaper than him. Draymond looks decent at 7K, but he's similarly priced to like Washington now that Plumlee's back, to PJ Tucker. So give me Jaron Jackson all day. All the blocks that he gives you on FanDuel is just massive. He has like 55 point ceiling on FanDuel. And then at the bottom, you're looking at some of the value picks for like Tristan Thompson at 43. Check Metu in this range. And then you have the Bucks pieces like Cousins at center at 37 if he starts. Right now at center, if you're not getting up to Jokic, it's a good spot. But Capella, Collins, big front court. I think they'll definitely Jokic is just able to dominate anybody. But Jokic should have another big game. But if you're looking for like a point per dollar play, I would still plug in Jaron Jackson at 64. You can plug Jokic in at center and Jaron Jackson at the 4, but you might not be able to get to LeBron. But right now, I feel pretty good about these 5. We'll see if we got more news throughout the day, but just prioritizing Milwaukee, the Kings, some of the Laker pieces. The Grizzlies still shorthanded, the Heat are shorthanded, and we probably will get some more teams before the end of the day with the way the COVID protocols have been going recently. But that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.